Welcome to the serene waters of the White River in Lakeview, Arkansas, a paradise for trout fishing enthusiasts. Join us as we embark on an unforgettable journey guided by the experienced Jesse Bryson with White River Nation. With his expert knowledge and passion for the art of fishing, Jesse will lead us through the picturesque landscapes and crystal clear currents where elusive trout gracefully dance beneath the surface. So, grab your gear, embrace the tranquility, and get ready for an adventure that will reel you in, hook, line, and sinker. Let's dive into the world of trout fishing on the White River with Jesse Bryson.
Hi, my name is Jesse Bryson. I'm from Mountain Home, Arkansas. Been born and raised here. I've been guiding out here roughly 10, 13 years. Fishing's always been a major passion of mine, so y'all are about to see what we do day in and day out. I'm mainly catch and release, and sometimes that steers people away from me, but when you live in an area like this, you got a lot of trophy fish, like rainbow trout, for instance. People are always taking, and when people are taking so much, it's hard for the system to keep up with everything. And so at the end of the day, as long as I know that I'm doing my part, that's all that matters, and educate people here and there. So I'm one of those guys that I've got just about every piece of fishing clothing that they have out, and I've just kind of always been a die-hard AFCO guy. The quality of their gear, it don't matter from our brutal winters to extreme heat during the summers, thunderstorms. I mean, they kind of got you covered in all conditions. I swear by their product. It don't matter if you're just wearing clothes out and about, all the way down to the underwear. The underwear are awesome.
Okay.
Everybody wants a big fish. That's always the goal, no matter what. Even if I have clients in my boat rainbow fishing, I try to sneak some things in there, you know. My main priority is just making sure everybody has a good time, and I try not to get wrapped up in the chase always being about a big fish, because it's much more than that to me. I feel like a lot of other people feel the same way. Really just catch and release that's always on my heart, you know, and you got people that come in and they want to keep rainbows, and that's not a big deal, but at the end of the day, we got to take care of what we have. It's my happy place. It's my keep my sanity job. Back in the day, I would have never thought I would call that place my work. So, you know, when that alarm's going off at 4 a.m., it can be tough sometimes, and especially when you're running as hard as I do sometimes during the summertime. You know, we're out morning trip until 1 o'clock, run home, take a quick nap, back out there till right before dark. Then I'm meeting another guy at the ramp to do a night trip. So it doesn't get old for me. I enjoy it.
It's awesome.
I just want to give a huge shout out to all my customers, all the friends that I've met. Definitely want to give a shout out to all my sponsors, AFCO, Bill Lewis, Fishing, Lowell Bresky with Topwater Boats. You build a fabulous boat. The Dream Machine is what we call her, so just in case you see it. We got a Facebook page, it's called White River Nation. You can private message us on there. My cell phone number is 870-706-7316. You can always call or text. We're about to go live with a new Instagram account. Everybody's been asking for it for a while, so I guess I'll finally give in.
Jesse, appreciate you, man. It was a blast with you this week, and look forward to coming back again.